Hi there. Good morning. It's Dr. Bob Flower with your Monday, March 14th Master Pattern Report. Well, we missed you last week. We spent some time down in Florida and didn't have an opportunity to do the show, but we're certainly going to make up for it this week. Okay, let's look at our last report of February 28th. At that time, we called for a silver move on March 3rd and an S&P move on March 4th. Both were direct hits as silver touched the $36 spot level, and the S&P dropped was over 200 points off on the day. I believe that was the 4th. We also called for a down dollar, which it certainly did. And up on the market interest rates, which have been inching up on us for the past whole month, and which we believe will continue before they spike. So they both developed as predicted by the master pattern. Also, the master pattern was predicting a down move for oil, and we did see it move from the $107 level down to $99, and we do see it dropping further this month, with the possibility down around $86. Even with this natural disaster in Japan, we still see a drop in oil temporarily anyway. This week's predictions, we have a silver move on the 17th, and S&P moves on the 14th, 18th, and 21st. Keep in mind that the S&P is now in a down cycle, and that the metals are weakening. So you might see some little gains here and there with gold and silver and copper and plutonium and whatnot. But for the most part, we're kind of running out of gas here, and I'm looking for somewhat of a pullback. If silver does get down around that $30 level, if it breaks through that, we're going to be buyers here. We still like $50 silver by the end of this year, so keep that in mind. And when we're talking about these moves, these are for the most part temporary moves, day moves, week moves, unless we tell you otherwise. So try not to get confused by what it is we're actually saying. Okay, so now let's talk a little socio-political economics here. The administration has a new game plan for the Health Care Act. What they're doing is they're trying to make enough significant changes to satisfy the opposition, but still keep the act in play. This, they hope, will negate the loss that they're going to take in the courts. They make enough changes to satisfy the opposition, then perhaps the thinking is they'll drop the case or they'll negotiate something. I don't see that happening. I think it's too big of a mess for any kind of successful negotiations here, with the exception of a complete elimination of some of the major tenets of the bill, such as giving health care to an additional 30 million people by virtue of taking it away from 100 million or whatever the number may be at this time. Okay, let's talk a little bit about the natural disaster in Japan. This is terrible, and it will have dire economic consequences around the world and in the United States. They will, and I understand today that they are inflating the yen big time to pay for the tremendous costs to cure the disaster. One curious thing about the Japanese culture that we can learn from this disaster is there's no looting going on, none whatsoever. And further, what's happening is supermarkets are cutting their prices to enable the the culture, the society to better survive this, and vending machines are giving free drinks to the citizens to help them out. They're really trying to come together. Something that socialistic countries can learn by the heart and spirit of free enterprise. And I think that's out of all of this, maintaining their culture and their character is very important. We can learn a lot from our friends. Okay, let's talk a little bit about Wisconsin. My goodness, it's nothing like the Tea Party, are they, folks? They're really getting arrogant and nasty and cruel and lawbreakers. Can you imagine that? What's going to happen there is it will empower other states to follow. Of course, Indiana has done this several years ago, and Ohio is in the process of doing it. Cuomo is trying desperately to apply cost-cutting measures in New York, and that should be very interesting, especially in a state as liberal as New York. Can any of you remember 3 years ago when the master pattern predicted all of this? And reviewers were commenting at that time that we were insane. We didn't know what we were talking about. I still have those commentaries, by the way. The master pattern is the most incredible, accurate form anytime, anywhere. We have just completed a 13-part television series on the laws of potential which govern the master pattern. We inform you as to the viewing schedule and the availability of those television series tapes. Also, we have a pre-publication of our latest book, The Great Secret of the Ancient Sites and Sacred Scriptures, which we're going to be coming out with shortly, I would say within the next 30 to 45 days. The book covers the discovery and the genesis of the master pattern evolving out of our 30 years of research into this area. Contact our website for more information and stay tuned to the